It's burning, huh? Bayou Beverly, huh? My friend from the Bronx, thank you for this one, for the reminder there.
Yesterday evening, I heard my granny talking to her friend, her next door neighbor. As she cried, I fell to bed. Her grandson had been arraigned. He was involved in a recent murder. So I was listening intently to what my granny was telling. She watch a big cup of tea. Do not despair, typical grandmother. Just you keep the candle burning. Say a little prayer. God does never give us more than we can bear. So I woke up this morning, find myself singing this song. If the candles burn in all these crimes and madness, Papa God will choose to guide us. If the candles burn, if the candles burn. There'll be no more murder and suicide. We put our petty differences aside. Oh, a new direction for the nation to the next millennium. Tell me, do you believe in miracles? The lights are candle. If the tip we have put on it, no. If the candles burning. Well, Granny's so full of faith, her trust in God you cannot shake. And to her, is the greatest of all the greats. Not even the volcano, she don't even pray the blow. She said she lived here long enough to know. Been through all kinds of disaster. We lost a lovely Lion River. It's getting blue again and again. Yet we've survived too many hurricanes. Outside forces never control we stand proud even in poverty. There is no country that is more resilient than we. Oh, life. So I woke up this morning, found myself singing this song. If we can just burn, that will overcome this crisis and restore security and peace. If we can just burn. If the candles burn. So we're planning in case of emergency. Minimize loss of life and property. Oh, a new direction for the nation to the next millennium. Tell me if you believe in miracles, that lights a candle. Idiotic, we have put on it. If the candles burning. Our society has changed. Our own children acting so strange. Parents today don't be rent again. Rapid limit on migration, rampant public corruption and immoral nonsense shown on television. Children have been for not fearing, and government for not censoring. It's getting worse as I get involved. Now the police playing a double role. The churches must stop politicking, preachers practice what they preaching, and help all parents to save their children's souls. Oh, Lord. Everywhere I went this morning, I found myself singing this song. If the candles burn for the children who go astray, Papa God will show them the way. If the candles burn, if the candles burn. To that the business magnet in our country would sell the humanity for big money. No, a new direction for the nation in the next millennium. Tell me you've been living miracles that light a candle. Idiotic we ever made. If the candles, that's for you, my children. So if you love this country, pray. If you want banana to stay, maybe we can save the children today. I know a solution sounds simple. If you don't believe it's true, then we attend in church for the wrong reason.
This is the Talk on the Block. I know you are
Let us not
calling.
down.
Just wanted to give you a chance to digest this one.
I've been hard and long, but there's no struggle.
Somebody's on the telephone. We'll take a break and we'll come back. Hello, yes? Hello? Hello? Nobody there. Hello, yes. Good afternoon to you. Talk on the Block.
Matt, good afternoon.
Yes, sir, my brother. How you doing?
Very good, sir. This is Bernard Moore from Massac.
Okay.
Don't forget the stuff, huh?
No. Mm-mm.
Okay. Let me tell you, when you see the public figures, right, the high prime minister, prime ministers, ministers, and when you see they making their statements, they're saying what they're saying, they never know the outcome of how effective it can be. And when they say come back door, come front door, come on a peep week, we enjoying the benefits of it now. Yeah, because most of the guns, that's where they're coming from. The close proximity, Guadeloupe, Martinique. Yeah, back door. Yeah.
Well, that's the problem right here.
That's for you, my children. So if you love this country, pray. If you want banana to stay, maybe we can save the children today. I know a solution.
Good afternoon to you. Talk on the Block. Yes. Hello. Hello. Nobody there.
Let us not
We're gonna take a break and we'll come back. Yeah.
61253. That's Mega. You can rely on Mega for some real deals on name brand clothing and electronics. High quality, low price. We are a wholesale and retail store located in Calabishi, right on the menu. Check us out on Facebook, Instagram at Mega Deals Dominica. Like our page. Check out our stuff. Call us. Visit us. Would appreciate that. Come try it on. Love it. Buy it at Mega Deals. Your one and only online and brick and mortar store. Mega Deals is also on wheels. We make it convenient for your shopping. We deliver straight to your door. Email us at info@megadealsda.com. Rely on Mega Deals for some real deals.
It's Kaiso! Yes, the Calypso season is upon us.
Saturday, December 13, 2025 at the Factory, Valley Road, only $20. 8 o'clock, sitting only $30. Come here, the beginning of the season, and make sure you're there till the end. Many Calypsonians will be competing. Only 12 gladiators will make it. The grand eliminations for the 2026 Calypso season. Saturday, 13 December 2025. Remember, 8 o'clock at the Factory. Come here, the funny songs, the serious songs, political songs, everything. Bring your family, bring your friends, bring your dog, and come. Kaiso, Kaiso, Kaiso.
Over $500,000 could be yours. Play Super 6 and win. Bigger jackpots, more chances to win.
I wanna drink Dominica, that's rum with you. I wanna drink Dominica, that's rum with you. Get the body, drink it every day. Give me energy. No, get the body, drink it every day. Give me energy. Time today, we wake up. My body, my knee, who's ready, full energy. My body, my knee, who's ready, full energy. Okay, boom. Distributed by Belfast Estate Limited. Drink it, but don't abuse it. Okay, boom.
Do you really have money to burn? What about your commitments? Have you paid your bills? What about your telephone bill, your light bill, your water bill? What are you going to use to pay your loan? A truck of stones? NCCU wants you to continue to make wise financial decisions that will not leave you stressed. Think of your commitments. Commit to your commitments. Commit to saving. And then you can have some money to burn.
All you, I just made gold winning Roseau again. Same place outside Flossie's. I tried to dock in, but you had time see me. Well, story start again. Million, lot of my power with us, huh? Fella, I said the same thing you doing, shopping at Flossie's, and you don't have to tell me the same thing you tell me last time because I'm busy. It's to hear him way. You reckon? About my pocket, why? I won't tell you that I save money in food and drinks when I buy quantity. I save more. Oh, shucks, man. Well, when you're still telling me, I know already. To pack I expect him, why? But it can him up pepper palais. I will tell all my friends from London, US and Dominica to come to Flossie's, right next to the Rosa Market. Open Sunday to Saturday. Flossie's can't do but Tuesday.
Dominican, enjoy your property, protect your property. You homeowner and businessman, protect your property, enjoy your property. Can't wait for the hurricane, can't wait till you flood again, can't wait till you fly out and all your business coming out. Remember, no insurance company will insure your property when a storm is approaching. Get ahead of the hurricane season. Insure with a company who gives you the assurance of payment for your valid claim. Come speak with us today at the New India Assurance Company Limited, upstairs AC Shillingford and Company Limited, 24 King George Street, Roseau. Bring along an up-to-date valuation from a qualified engineer and get insured today.
It's officially white potato season in Dominica. To celebrate, Bloombox is giving you the chance to win a 196cc 4-stroke, 6.5 horsepower tiller valued at over $3,000. Wow! You heard right. Simply make a purchase of $75 or more between October 13th and December 27th, 2025, and you'll be automatically entered for a chance to win this powerhouse machine to make your next planting season even easier. Winner will be announced on December 29th. Visit us at Bloombox Goodwill and Roseau. Terms and conditions apply. Let's bloom together with Bloombox.
The Gospel Music Event of the Year is here. The NIPP Gospel Song Contest Season 3 Grand Finale. 11 dynamic participants: Rannick Toussaint, Kervel Xavier Matthew, Shadrach Abona, Eversley Collier, Elisha Rowe, Nikisha Yearwood Change, Makana Charles, Leon Royer, Evelyn Levam, Joy, Edward Julian, and Hendrik Sherdell, along with uplifting guest performances to include last year's winner, Niall Girl, Jake Crow. Julian Rivera, and Jerry Lloyd. It's all happening December 7, 2024, 8 p.m. at the old Coca-Cola Factory, Valley Road, Roseau. Tickets $40 and $125 VIP.
Lady S. 2025. Still late again. Most people can't afford oil and flour to make a little bit. In this little ghetto hamlet called Silver Lake, with a population less than 100 strong, yet still everybody seems to have a gun. I remember the day.
All right, Dominica, we're standing by to, of course,
Just yesterday,
bring some of the finalists of the big gospel concert this weekend. Stand down.
and I'm just a child,
Just give her a few minutes here.
a 12-year-old child, trying to convince my mother.
The contestants, from what I see, we have 13 artists. Michael Clark,
The lake again,
Miss Laura, Nikisha Yearwood Latham,
my brother.
Anthony Angal, Shadrach Obogno, I think that's a Nigerian name there, Malene Roll, Covell Xavier, Rennick Toussaint, Alicia Roll, Jemima Roll, Bernadette Peter, Hendrik Chirodel, and Magdalene Thomas.
Inside and hide. I'm just a child. I'm just a child. And I'm afraid to go outside. Cause anywhere there's a shooting, you hear the same saying, oh God, Silver Lake again. Oh God, Silver Lake again. In Silver Lake, nobody cares about the law. But maybe it's because the law don't seem to care. The only official who ever comes around is the pirate when election comes along. No living space, and there's always another child. There is no church, God has not been here in a while. Sinful living, you seek, don't tell, don't ask. Because you will get a visit by a gunman wearing a mask.
All right, Dominica, we're getting ready for
Mama, I don't want to live.
a few gospel artists participating in the big one this weekend.
In memory of my brother.
So let's say
Mama, I don't want to live.
good afternoon to, of course, some of the main producer here. No stranger to the microphone. Let's allow him to introduce himself this afternoon again. How are you, sir? How are you?
I'm Ken Robinson. I'm the CEO of NIPP.
That's why I said you're no stranger.
All right.
So tell me what's going on this weekend, Ken.
We are having the finals of the Gospel Song Contest.
Mm-hmm.
This is season 4. So we have been in this thing for 4 years. And we have been building and building. And now we are the crescendo of our time, our existence, and getting better, because what you're going to hear on the weekend is big, very, very big. And
you said the crescendo. Huh? Like the top, the very top? There's nothing
Let me
above there, no icing, nothing?
We have icing to put on it.
Okay.
On Saturday night, because what is here is not even the best, because it's not the best recording, and we did it off the recorded. It was recorded off the eliminations. So what you're going to get on the weekend is going to be much better than this, because people, I mean, the artists are very ticked up at this time, and
I saw last year's show. It was a very top. I will give it a grade, like say B plus.
And
so this year is going to be A.
This year is going to be A plus.
A plus.
A plus.
You're giving it a plus.
You asked me if
I said like I'll give last year B plus,
and this year I already
you've jumped 100%.
Yes, sir.
Wow, 100%.
Let me tell you, I'm so confident in what's going on. I feel so very happy about the standard that we have attained in the last 4 years, and we have a band that we've had for the last 2 years that is just, I mean, getting better and better and better. We have a 4-piece band, and we couldn't ask for a better match for the contestants and for the stage that we're going to have. Let me tell you, it's going to be very, very good. Can you imagine me? It is going to be good. Anybody that misses that, they're going to be missing half their life.
Half their life.
Half.
This guy is very, very confident. Well, let's say good afternoon to, of course, the former champion. I don't know if you want to describe yourself as a champion. He says, it's not a contest. It's like a coming together of artists, and whoever emerges at the top, emerges at the top. But they're all good songs out there. Good afternoon to you, my brother.
Yeah, good afternoon. It's not a where you have a crown and you defend the crown. It's not. We're not defending any crown.
No.
It's every year, depending on what you have, what material you have, then you can emerge. We don't have it like somebody hold the crown and then you have to hand it over to somebody else. It's not like this.
No. So you wouldn't be handing your baton to anybody else?
No.
So what would you be handing over then?
What would be handing over?
What?
No, we just come to sing, and the best person win. That's
the best person is awarded.
Yeah. And then we don't have it like you would have Calypso. We are defending crown. This you have to come and defend your crown. It's not like this.
No. You're not defending Jesus.
You don't need to defend Jesus.
That's my point. That's my point. All right. So what are you coming up with this year?
Something last year I had a Calypso. This time I have a Kadas. Different.
A Kadas?
Yeah, in Creole. I have something.
Why you chose differently?
Because
go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Because we have different genres of music that I'm comfortable with. I'm comfortable with this one. So I'm comfortable with Calypso. I'm comfortable with reggae. I'm comfortable with a number of them. So I choose.
And the first year, who won? First year of the competition.
Nikisha.
Nikisha.
And she's back.
Yes. But so who came? So the second year, who came?
Nile Grove. Yes.
Nile Grove. Okay. So and the third year you won.
Yeah.
So this is the fourth year. Okay. A big competition. As I said, I was there last year. A little thing, something was missing, but I really enjoyed the show. It was a very competitive show.
Yeah. This one's gonna be greater.
It's gonna be greater.
I can assure you.
All right, I'll come and grade myself. And we have a new competitor. So how you doing?
Good, man.
Can you pass the microphone to him? Just the microphone, because we're having some issues. Yes. You're doing good. Yes. Go ahead.
Yes. I'm Anthony Engel from Granby.
Anthony
Engel.
Engel from Granby.
Yes.
Like I heard that name before.
Yeah.
Okay.
As known as the Lion.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah.
I know I remember the name. So
Yes.
okay, you into gospel now? Or?
Yes, I'm into all different kind of.
Oh, so you sing everything?
Yes, I sing.
So what you'll be singing this year?
I'm singing a reggae this year, and the title is caught in a rock in a hard place.
A rock in a hard
yeah.
place. Interesting. I'm hoping that I see another gentleman there. Are you from Nigeria, sir?
Yes, from Nigeria.
Nigeria. Yeah, he was a big artist last year. So what are you gonna bring for us?
Okay, I'm bringing a song I wrote. He Never Fails.
He never fails.
Yes. So I'm bringing a song that passes a message because when I wrote that song, I was ill at that time, and then suddenly a thought flashed through my mind that your this illness you have does not require an amount of money that you cannot afford. So God is allowing you to go through this. He knows what you can carry, so He never fails. And I wrote that song. Actually, I had a different song at the auditioning, which was the intended song. So, but when I got that message, I decided to change it. And so people need to know that God never fails. Everybody goes through challenges at this point in time, but you must always go through that knowing that God does not fail.
So your song is like a testimony.
It's a testimony, and it's also an encouragement. So the verses are written beginning with my story and then going over to cause the people to reflect, and then crowning it up with God never fails. The word of God says that you are engraved in the palm of His hand, so you are in the hollow of His hand. And one of the variation or the bridge says, when you look at the sparrow, they don't borrow. You know, the sparrow is a bird. They don't borrow. They don't even sorrow. I mean, whatever we look at it like, we are in the hollow of His hand. So I picked that. Consider the birds of the field. That's what He said in the scriptures, that they don't think of tomorrow. They don't go to any of these financial institutions to borrow money, but they are always feeding. So if we can rest and trust like Peter did, we will walk on water. Yes.
How many verses do you have in that song?
I cut it down to 2. I have 3 verses.
Okay.
But it's 2 because the songs we need to perform it within a time frame. So.
All right, Mr. Robinson, how much preparation for this show? How much preparation have we had for this one?
We have been preparing since July. Since July. Yes, we have been practicing twice a week. And there is artist development. This is a big thing with NIPP, to develop people so that they can go out and carry the message. And our mantra is excellence. So we're not falling below excellence. That's why I'm so excited about the way I was speaking a while ago. When I tell you we're going higher and higher and higher, and we really are, because everybody here has been to the artist development, which we do every Saturday, and they can attest to the fact that from the time they started to now, there's a great difference in their performance and their delivery. So we are making sure that whatever we put on stage is going to meet the expectation of the people who show up to view them, to see the show.
Where do you want to take this big song competition, the 4th this year? Where do you want to take this?
I want to take it past Calypso.
You want it to be a bigger show than Calypso?
Yes.
You think you can get there?
I'm not thinking.
You know.
That's my destination.
That's your destiny. That's big. Now, I'm going to challenge you guys. Of course, time is of the essence. I'm going to challenge all 3 of you guys to give me a verse of that song. I want you to be spontaneous. I'm like that. Let's tease the people as to what to expect. We have a number of the other songs on, of course, a flash drive here. We'll hear maybe some of them. So just a chorus or a verse, and let us feel what to expect there on Saturday night. Is that too much for you? Saturday night, yes. Are you ready? You can do the chorus if you want. It's your choice, my brother. I just want to hear what to expect. So you convince me to come to that show on Saturday.
I will just do one.
You'll do one verse. Okay.
Empêcher ma caviwe, moi tout ça moi besoin bon Dieu, sauver moi bien sauver, pour qui pour moi vivre empêcher, mais non, ma caviwe en la terre péché ça, ma caviwe, moi ka rester en Jésus, mais oui ma caviwe, Lavez-moi bien, lavez ma cavi, ouais. Sauvez-moi bien, sauvez ma cavi, ouais. C'est ça péché qu'a fait c'est tuer.
Oh, sounding good. What about you, my brother from Ground Bay, South City?
Yes, yes.
Uh-huh.
I've been caught, Lord, between a rock and a hard place. I now have to leave them and tell my Lord to free me. I've been caught, Lord, between a rock and a hard place. I know how to leave them.
All right. Oh, okay. It's, of course, I have my Nigerian friend. What's your name again, son? I was trying to pronounce it a while ago. The name.
Shadrach.
Shadrach.
Yes.
Okay. So you give us the verse or the chorus? Which one are you going to do?
I'll go with the verse.
You go the verse, okay? We here.
Many times I've wondered what tomorrow brings. Will it bring me laughter? Will it bring me tears? On the road, many questions line the way, yet his voice whispers comfort, guiding night and day. If the tiny sparrows rest within his care, how much more will his children held by love so fair? Though the night is heavy, hope will rise with light. God has never failed me, he will make it right.
You sold me. I will come to the show.
I hope you're not asking me to sing.
Well, that'll be the icing on the cake. You can sing. That'll be the icing on the cake.
Yeah, well, the icing will have to wait a little longer.
No. All right, we're going to take a quick break. We'll come right back. Okay, thank you. All right, Dominic, as we wrap up this, and I'm telling you, on Saturday morning, of course, I'm going to invite some of the artists again just before the big finals. There are 13 finalists performing inspirational songs. You know, on Saturday morning, we have a big gospel show. I'm going to have them to be part of our show on Saturday. As I've been described, good quality music excellence at the Bill Daniel Memorial Park. So come dance and, of course, celebrate with your Lord there on Saturday, 6th December at 8 p.m. at the Bill Daniel Memorial Park. Admission only $40. Any final words before you go, Mr. Robinson? Of course, and we'll let the artist say the final part.
I want to thank all those people who have already decided to come.
Okay.
Because gratitude will get you everywhere. So I am grateful for your attendance. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Final words, my brother? Yes.
Yes, I'm encouraging lots of Dominicans to come and see the participants like us because we have good words and good news to share.
I'm encouraging all my brethren and sisters all over the island to come and be blessed with God's word in song as we minister, as we declare Jesus as Lord.
Just want to thank everyone who tuned in. And we are saying that Saturday is a day you want to celebrate Jesus. You want to support the course of the work of God. And so please come along. Come with your friend as well. Thank you.
And on Saturday, you might hear all of the songs during the gospel hour. Folks, it was a pleasure. We'll do it again on Saturday morning. Thank you very much for passing by, Mr. Robinson. I'm hoping I can keep you to your word. I'll keep you to your word there. You say it's an excellent. You're saying A+.
I wouldn't have it anywhere else.
Thank you. All right, Dominica. Our next up, Mr. Dr. Thompson Fontaine. We're going to come right back.
But do you really have money to burn? What about your commitments? Have you paid your bills? What about your telephone bill, your light bill, your water bill? What are you going to use to pay your loan? A truck of stones? NCCU wants you to continue to make wise financial decisions that will not leave you stressed. Think of your commitments. Commit to your commitments. Commit to saving. And then you can have some money to burn.
All you, I just made goal winning Roseau again. Same place outside Flossie's. I tried to dock in, but you had time see me. Well, story start again. Million, lot of my power with us, huh? Saka fella, I said the same thing you doing, shopping at Flossie's, and you don't have to tell me the same thing you tell me last time because I'm busy. It's to hear him way. You reckon? About my pocket, the boy. I won't tell you that I save money in food and drinks when I buy quantity. I save more. Oh, shucks, man. Good when you're still telling me. I know already. To pack I expect him, why? But it can him up here for Palais. I will tell all my friends from London, US and Dominica to come to Flossie's. Right next to the Rosa Market. Open Sunday to Saturday. Flossie's can't do it to you.
Dominicans, enjoy your property, protect your property. You homeowner and businessman, protect your property, enjoy your property. Can't wait for the hurricane, can't wait till your flood again, can't wait till your roof fly out and all your business coming out. Remember, no insurance company will insure your property when a storm is approaching. Get ahead of the hurricane season. Insure with a company who gives you the assurance of payment for your valid claim. Come speak with us today at the New India Assurance Company Limited, upstairs AC Shillingford and Company Limited, 24 King George Street, Roseau. Bring along an up-to-date valuation from a qualified engineer and get insured today.
It's officially white potato season in Dominica. To celebrate, Bloombox is giving you the chance to win a 196cc 4-stroke, 6.5 horsepower tiller valued at over $3,000. Wow! You heard right. Simply make a purchase of $75 or more between October 13th and December 27th, 2025, and you'll be automatically entered for a chance to win this powerhouse machine to make your next planting season even easier. Winner will be announced on December 29th. Visit us at Bloombox Goodwill and Roseau. Terms and conditions apply. Let's bloom together with Bloombox.
It's Kaiso! Yes, the Calypso season is upon us. Saturday, December 13, 2025 at the Factory, Valley Road. Only $20. 8 o'clock, seating only $30. Come here, the beginning of the season. And make sure you're there till the end. Many Calypsonians will be competing. Only 12 gladiators will make it. The grand eliminations for the 2026 Calypso season. Saturday, 13 December 2025. Remember, 8 o'clock at the Factory. Come here, the funny songs, the serious songs, political songs, everything. Bring your family, bring your friends, bring your dog and come. Kaiso!
The Gospel Music Event of the Year is here. The NIPP Gospel Song Contest Season 3 Grand Finale. 11 dynamic.
As I said, my guest, leader of the United Workers' Party, Thompson Fontaine. It seems there's a lot of excitement in the air. After this announcement this morning.
Of Dominica. On Friday, government officially announced a revised national minimum wage structure, with increases set to take effect today, December 1, 2025. You may remember this was first announced during the July 2025 national budget presentation. Government had appointed a minimum wage advisory board with representatives from the public and private sectors, employer groups, and trade unions who examined the realities facing workers, the rising cost of essential goods and services, and how Dominica compares to the average wage levels across the OECS. Here is Minister in the Ministry of Labour, Honorable Darren Pinard.
The revised rates will help address wage disparities, support greater equity in the labor market, and strengthen household incomes, particularly for low-income and vulnerable workers who are most affected by rising living costs. This measure must also be seen in the broader context of national development. A productive, motivated workforce is at the heart of economic growth. Fair wages contribute to higher morale, reduced turnover, improved performance, and stronger social cohesion. Employers, workers, and communities all benefit when the labor market is just. My ministry remains committed to ongoing dialogue with our social partners, continued monitoring of labor conditions, and proactive policy making which supports both workers and employers.
Thompson Fontaine, good afternoon to you. How are you doing?
Matt, good afternoon. Doing well. And to your many listeners, good afternoon.
Is there need to celebrate, Thompson?
Matt, I'm not hearing it as yet. I'm not seeing it because this announcement came out a couple of days ago and this information was out there. I'm not seeing any kind of national exuberance over this. I just listened to my former student there, my former econ student, Darren, the Minister of Labor.
He was a student?
Yes. I taught him economics. So he has all the theory right. Everything he said with regards to what the minimum wage can do is correct. The only problem is that it does not jive with the reality of this particular what we're seeing, what has been offered. And the reason why I say that, Matt, is that what you may have observed is that the rates that have been announced are the existing wage for the most part. So what I see is that the legislation is now catching up with the reality, which is wrong. It should be the legislation is supposed to lead the way and bring the country forward. For example, the wages going to laborers, day laborers that work in the farms.
Mhm.
We've been paying that since last year. When you get somebody to work for you, I have a farm and I normally employ persons. I've been paying them $75 a day for the past several months. So the fact that it is now mandatory, it just means that this has already been there. And cashiers, when I saw this, I spoke to a few business owners and they said they're already paying the cashiers the $1,400 a month that this new amount, suggests. And I see that the home helpers are still way, way, way below. You're talking about when you look at the wages they've offered in weeks, you're talking about $700, $800 a month still for persons working. So I'm very disappointed for the very simple fact that given the way the country is, given the high level of wages in this country, that this is too little. It does not go far enough.
So you're telling us this is nothing new?
It's nothing new. It does not go far. Like I said, and people will certainly call to verify that the wages that we are seeing now, these minimum wages, are for the most part already in existence. People were actually paying that even before the government came on board. When you're dealing with an issue like a minimum wage, as Darren rightly said, that you're trying to stimulate growth, you're trying to increase household incomes, it has to be something that there'll be a real increase. Okay,
you can feel it. You can
and
touch
then
it.
you can feel it. Yeah, something tangible, especially considering that we've been so low for so long. But for example, when we offered a 12% minimum wage, is because we did the research that suggests that that's where we need to be in Dominica. And if you compare, for example, St. Kitts, Antigua, they're all over $12. So the fact that we are just now approaching $9 tells you that we still have a long ways to go.
I actually thought that when I last heard the announcement, they were doing some research, and there was comparative data to say that we're getting there. But you're saying now it's just nothing new.
Yeah, I'm saying that they're getting there, albeit too slowly. It does not put us at parity then with the rest of the region. It does not. We're still trailing the rest
But
of the region.
Can we objectively, Thompson, given the state of the economy, can we afford this though?
All right. Now, that is an important question. And that's the reason why, Matt, when we made our own suggestions for a wage increase, we understood the burden that would be placed on the private sector in particular. And we suggested that there are ways that the government could adjust its fiscal policy to accommodate some of those changes. So although it's not the government paying it, but you can reach a point where you can negotiate with the business places to allow them some different tax breaks that would allow them to meet the added amount. So right now, if you have a firm, let's assume that there are still some companies that are not meeting this minimum wage and they have to do it. The average increase is about 25-30% increase.
Mm-hmm.
So if they have to offer that, it might be a problem for some of those businesses. Okay. So as they try to meet these higher wages, the question is there something government can do to help them to really kind of ease the burden on those businesses? And the answer is yes, but it has to be done within the context of a well thought out fiscal policy. And that is why when we made our very strong appeal for the $12 increase in the minimum wage, or the 12 to go to the level of $12,
Mm-hmm.
we insisted that government would do an arrangement with the private sector that would allow us to kind of allow them that extra space to be able to meet whatever increased demands they were.
So why are they not doing that?
They're not doing it mainly because the government probably does not understand the importance of that particular thing. And also, as I said from the start, the fact that a lot of companies are already paying this amount to their workers is not going to be necessarily of a huge burden. So there could be a feeling that it's not going to be all that disruptive in terms of the impact on the businesses. But that is something that needs to be looked at very, very closely. I'm also concerned, Matt, in terms of how far-reaching it is. The government itself, you cannot be offering wage increases or minimum wages, telling the private sector that they need to pay those minimum wages, and you have your own workers where you're not meeting those wages. I'm talking in particular about the National Employment Program workers.
NEP.
They're making $1,000. That is not $9 an hour, So the question is, can you ask the private sector to pay minimum wages, and then you have a group, I'm told a few thousand NEP workers, and you're not paying them the same minimum wages. That seems to me to be a double standard.
You don't think that the as you said, the wages now been announced? You say it's nothing new, but the government will help deal with the inflation that we have in this time.
Wages in Dominica has not been known to necessarily drive inflation because we are so far behind. We are lagging so far behind. If you look at government, at the public sector wages, for example, they've not gotten any significant increases over many years. So inflation is way, way, way ahead. So any wage increase we have now or salary increases is only meant to try to catch up. So it's not going to impact inflation further. It's just going to try to help people catch up because the burden has definitely been placed on the workers, the day-to-day workers, and even the government employees, which we'll talk about a little later.
Well, tell me, Thompson, before we dive into anything more, you have done it many times, but remind us, what is the state of Dominica's economy? Are we in a precipice? Are we going there? What's the state of the economy?
Matt, the Dominican economy, and you can just tell the people that you meet on the street. If people don't believe me, they can go on the street right now and ask everybody they meet what they think. And they will tell you with one resounding voice that the economy is not good. It has not been able to create new opportunities. New jobs are not being created. Public servants, as I said, are suffering. They've not received their just dues over many, many, many years. The private sector is shrinking in a lot of instances. Businesses are being closed almost on a daily basis. Well-known businesses, restaurants, shops, boutiques, all of that are shutting down. So these are all examples of an economy that really has been in a state of collapse for quite a long time. And the disappointment in all of this is that while all of that was happening, we had access to literally billions of dollars that could have been used to inject into the economy, as was done, for example, in St. Kitts, where the government used its largesse from the sale of passports to provide bonuses to workers, provide other incentives that injected substantial sums of money into the economy. We have not seen that. So whereas we had the means to revive and to revamp the economy, for example, we could have put efforts into getting markets for our farmers. We could have put efforts into subsidizing farmers to go back into farming, into agriculture, to boost agricultural production. We could have gone into a water industry. There's so many things that this CBI monies could have been used for to stimulate growth, stimulate employment. None of that was done. So the end result is, as we look at today's economy, it is completely dead. It is not producing any jobs, and the hardships on the Dominican public continues.
Wow, 227. That's not good news at all.
It's not good news, Matt. And I was holding my breath on these minimum wage increases, thinking that there would really be something to celebrate. At the end of the day, there is not. And I still feel for the NEP workers, some of them making $750 a month. And I hope the government addresses that. I hope the government also addresses the issue of public servants that are due those increases. I mean, they have not received any increase of any note. And they absolutely need to look into that.
All right, let's see. I want you to be very participant there on this conversation we're having, because everybody seems, as announced earlier with that clip from the press secretary, that there's big news, like something new. But let's listen to a few calls. Hello, are you there, caller? Yes.
Yes, Matt. Good afternoon, Matt. Good afternoon, Dr. Fountain.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, according to what they say, meantime, back at the ranch, Roosevelt Garrett is buying limousines to impress people. You know what I mean? And he's also talking about putting tolls. What do you think about that, Dr. Fontaine?
Yeah, exactly. Tolls, yeah. I mean, that shows that's you're going backward. You're regressing when already people have all of these taxes, this VAT to carry, these huge taxes that have been paid at the ports, and then you turn around and say you have to pay additional amounts. If you're going to license your vehicle now, you have a highway toll that you have to pay. I mean, all of those taxes and so on, and it's just unfair. Unfair, Martin, in the context.
Highway tolls where?
Well, somebody asked me where the highway is, but I said, well, there is one labeled the Edward Oliver Libler Highway. So probably that's what they refer to.
So it means every time you have to use that road, you have to pay.
No. I think it's a yearly fee. that you pay when you go to renew your license.
All right. Would that not make sense? More sense if it's if you want to go to Portsmouth, you pay a fee.
That they use, well, that's what most countries do. They put the charge on the users, directly on the users. But we've seen the government behave that way, Matt. For example, they impose environmental levies on everybody, and people don't benefit. You still have a garbage problem in Dominica, even if you pay thousands of dollars on the port for an environmental levy, and they don't always use the money for what it has been raised for. So my fear is that, people are going to pay for the highway level at the end of highway levy, and at the end of the day, we'll still have to negotiate the potholes and the grass growing on the road and all the rest of it.
I've asked that question for many years. Really, is this environmental levy that should have been used for garbage collection? Have you any idea? I mean, you can crunch the numbers. Where is this money going to?
That's a good question. It goes into this big box and it disappears into this big black box of government expense. So, they're collecting it in the tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars, but they're not using it for the purpose that they claim.
Let's take another phone call. Are you there, caller? Yes.
Yeah. Good afternoon, Matt. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Yes. Good afternoon to you.
Yeah, Matt. We are glad having the conversation, but I wish you would have it in a little more historic context. Like these huge raises for these ministers and all these other things that are going on. I think we have to connect to the picture as to why this is inadequate. And this Prime Minister talks about he had an advisory council. What kind of advisory council are you going to have enabling minimum wage increase? And you don't deal with other sectors like legislation and the VAT and those things. You don't even pay special attention to micro businesses. Like there's not even enough segregation level in that whole process. I mean, who are these people who advise the Prime Minister? It's almost like people are being used, but that seems like a reactionary legislation. Something that doesn't have any serious intent of analysis to arrive at these numbers. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad that something is breaking it down. But if we have a minimum wage structure to develop Dominica, we have to have a legislation aspect to it. We have to have different sectors address the VAT, the other things. You can ease up on these businesses so that they can pay an increase in wages for these people. Otherwise, it's a complete joke. This is another political gimmickry where no analysis goes into it. Just like the airport. We build an airport that's costing us way more money than we need to spend for the airport because of the Prime Minister's way of doing things and absence of critical analysis in decision making. It's just garbage, man.
Thank you. And of course, we've heard the increases for government ministers, and look at what is the number of persons is receiving.
Yes, Matt, that's an excellent thing that Zed raises. The idea that the government receives these huge increases over the already high salaries, and those at the very bottom, they're having a difficulty pulling them up. I mean, the fact that you're still not making $2,000, that most of these people on that list comes up to about $1,200, $1,400 a month. That is, in my view, still very highly insignificant. You need to do better than that. I mean, and the whole idea that you have not been able to grow the economy over all these years is what is causing a lot of those problems. So your private sector is stagnant. And I can tell you, even where the private sector have to pay these extra amounts, it might be a problem for some of those businesses because they simply don't have the kind of traffic, the kind of business that is required to meet some of those.
So why is the DAIC, if you will, so silent? Why is the private sector so silent?
Well, Matt, I've not heard them as yet. The announcement just came, so I would expect them to say something as to whether they're yay or nay. Obviously, for the businesses, it's always a problem. I mean, in the sense that they're the ones that have to find the money, so they might have a different view on it. But I think the government needed to take a more careful look, especially in the context of economic growth, especially in the context of generating jobs in the economy. None of that we see around this particular.
Hello, talk to me. Yes,
Matt. Just one more question. The airport. Do we have an estimate on the new cost of the airport? And is the CDI money really paying for the airport, or is China chipping in? Because it appears to me that China may be taking it over. Anybody have a clear report on that? Did Mr. Kerry say anything?
You seem to know more than I know.
Yeah, I've not heard any new estimates but it does appear that there may be some cost overruns.
But the cost, it seems to be changing all the time.
Yeah, it will, because
there's no fixed cost for
yeah,
now.
yeah, I'm sure that they did not expect to spend millions of dollars in concrete to stabilize the soil, right? So already, you have that situation.
This mining operation, the big trucks.
Yes, and the impact it's going to have, and this mining thing is something that we have to talk about as well at some point. I mean, the fact that you're destroying this country to satisfy the thirst for another country's metals is beyond me. I don't know why we're involved in this.
Hello, talk to me, yes?
Blessings to you, Mr. Pelkey.
Blessings to you, sir.
Doc, blessings to you.
Yes, blessings. Good
I
afternoon.
just arrived and I come from Congress. So I just tuned in. I listened for about a good 20 minutes there to listen. Doc, I mean no disrespect. So nothing I say, do not take it personal. All right, my brother?
Yeah,
That's just me and my patriotic duty and concern. We know what these criminals are all about. We can sit down from January to December and articulate all the crimes of these honorable criminals. Doc, the inadequacies, the tardiness, the stagnated approach where the opposition is concerned. There's Winston Churchill, a British Prime Minister, whatever he was. He said, attack them on the air, attack them on the sea, attack them on the ground, and all of that. There is a level of silence that is deafening. I am not UWP. My last vet is right. I don't know you. I'm not a member of the executive. I am just a sympathizer.
Well, blessings. Let me just inject here, and I'm sure you can call in later with that. But we're talking about, of course, the wages at this point and how we can make things better in terms of the wages. I was expecting that kind of conversation here before we move to, of course, your comments at this time, because we're having a conversation about the minimum wage and where we are at this time. Do you understand?
Can I continue, Matt?
Yeah, go ahead, sir. Yes.
I always have a run up to what I'm about to say. You maybe does not listen to me. Let me cut through the chase, Matt.
Thank you.
Doc, I am just saying we understand the abuse, the violence, and psychological violence is worse than physical violence. So with all the additional benefits they're looking to get, Doc, what approach we are going to take to mitigate, to curtail, or to stop that madness? Because it seems like there is no end to the abuse and the violence and the fever and the robbery. What is the approach to all what we are articulating? Matt, it is connecting, it is dovetailing perfectly with what we're discussing, Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Matt, well, yeah. In terms of the approach, I think there are different ways that you can approach this particular issue. We've had a situation of 25 years of bad governance of this country, and I believe that the Dominican public are finally waking up to that reality, that countries where you have a government for that length of time, it does not work for the people of the country. And countries that have done really well have realized that. So, for example, the United States, there are term limits for a particular government. Countries that we see in the region that are doing really well, like St. Lucia, Trinidad, and so on, they change their governments ever so often. So I think the reality or the remedy is for the Dominican public to rise up and change its government. I mean, quite frankly, that to me is the ultimate solution to this problem.
You said rise up, Thompson, but a lot of people seem to think that, the opposition, I've said that to you before, and I've said that to other opposition personnel, that the opposition is not militant enough on the ground.
But well, when I say rise up, I
just want to be very careful with your road.
Yes. When I say rise, I mean they have to do what they have to do. We're still a democratic society, so I'm not going to agitate for the removal of the government by force in any way. Mm-hmm. I'm saying that the people, when we have an election, they have to vote in sufficient numbers to overturn this government.
I just wanted to clarify that. Matt, if your business is not making money, how are you going to pay higher wages? That's your concern,
right? That's one of the concerns that I have, and I suspect for some businesses it is going to pose a problem, and that's the reason why I said that when you're going to look at minimum wage increases, it has to be in the context of a broader fiscal and tax policy. It cannot just be an isolated thing, because at the end of the day, the burden is going to be on these small businesses. The question is, can they sustain it? Will that have a negative impact on the business? Can it even force them to close if those demands are high, and I'm not sure that kind of analysis was done before the announcement.
Thompson, you just hypothetically, you're voted into office tomorrow. Your government is into office tomorrow. What will be different?
Yes, Matt. A number of things would be different because our focus would obviously be on how we can create jobs for this country. So all the resources that we have would initially go into revamping our key sectors of the economy. We would look for areas where we can have quick impacts, and one of those is agriculture. You can quickly turn around, do some markets for agricultural produce. Like even now, we have a lot of produce. I mean, I'm involved in doing a few sales in Guadeloupe for some farmers in the southeast, and the supply is just we are probably meeting about 10% of the gross supply that we have. I mean, the demand is just about 10% of the supply that is there. People have been planting, the plantains are rotting on the bunch, the dashings rotting in the ground. So already, one of the things you could do quickly to put monies into people's pocket is to organize the markets. The mouths are still there to be fed. The demand is still there on the outside, but our goods are not reaching them. So immediately, you could work at having these markets that would put money right away into the hands of the farmers, and then you look into how you can now phase in factories and so on that would help to stimulate and create jobs for the people. So within the first 100 days, ours would be one of job creation, and we could do this by stimulating agriculture, by stimulating our water sector, and thirdly, by immediately introducing several factories across the island.
So our government under your care, Thompson, would be the minimum wage would be what?
$12. $12 to as a start. We are now in 2025. If it takes a further 2 years, we'd have to review that, obviously. But for now, $12 is what we've worked out to be a meaningful wage, reasonable. But that is something, as I said, a $12 minimum wage would have to come with some specific plans for the private sector to ensure that we support them as we make that transition to the higher minimum
What about
wage.
cutting the milk at the top?
That is always a good thing. There is obviously too much spending on government. We have a bloated cabinet as one, bloated salaries as well. Government salaries are I've never seen that in any country, where salaries of ministers are higher than salaries of people even working within the private sector. You don't find that in a lot of countries. Usually, government salaries are, they're average. Because the idea is that you go into government to serve the people and not yourself. But we have a situation in Dominica where it is turned around. Huge salaries that have been paid. You have a number of persons who were previously in government have been kept on as advisors and in different positions. Several former ministers are still working within government, drawing down on the resources of the state.
You mean former government ministers?
Former government ministers, yeah. Government Daru and Sejan, all of them, they're still there. They still have jobs within the government, and so that is a real problem where it's almost like this Labour Party is meant to support its own, and they're doing everything, throwing all of those resources into supporting their own at the exclusion of the majority of Dominicans, and that is something that we will turn around very, very quickly.
All right, Dominica, we're here with Dr. Thompson Fontaine, and the afternoon time is just about 2:43. Feel free to call. There's been a lot of WhatsApp messages. Let me see if I can get to that. Somebody says not to increase minimum wage means increased costs of labor and businesses. Ultimately, it is the consumer, the people, that pays for the increase in goods and services. The point there is, somebody says Dr. Thompson Fontaine is giving them man too many ideas. He needs to stop. He's giving too much ideas. 449-3095.
Yeah, but I'm giving too many ideas. At the end of the day, my concern is about this country. I'm concerned about the well-being of our people. So anything that can help in that regard, I'm prepared to offer it. I think, I can't be selfish while people are suffering and hurting in this country the way and to the degree that they're hurting and they're suffering. So we absolutely have to, say what we must.
Let's go back to the telephone. Are you there? Yes?
Yes, Matt. Matt,
Yes,
at
you're
$12
back.
an hour, more jobs. That's the key. It's more jobs. With more jobs at $12 an hour, Social Security is going to be happy. It's going to affect many things. The government will collect more taxes. So I'm not an economist, but maybe Mr. Dr. Thompson can elaborate on that for us. Thank you.
All right, somebody's asking me to ask you, Thompson, what would be a government under your watch? How would you remarket Dominica to tourists and the diaspora to come back home?
Matt, in terms of that's a biggie for that's a big one for us. In fact, in our 10 pillars, we have one of the key pillars we have is that of our diaspora, because we believe that the diaspora has a huge part to play in the Dominica's future development. And part of that appeal would be to say, yes, we are creating the enabling environment for you to come back. We want you to come back with your resources, with your ideas, with your skill. We want you to come in with investment ideas and so on, bringing money back into the country. So we want our diasporans to be at the center of this factories we are talking about, of these initiatives in the water industry, in the essential oils industry. We want them to be a critical part of it. So that appeal will be to say, yes, come in, and also to ensure that we get them to come, the focus on the health sector, because we absolutely have to fix our health sector if you're going to accommodate any significant number of returning Dominicans here.
Okay. Someone says, man, the new highway tax must be to raise money to pay Mr. Skerritt's new toy. I suspect they're talking about. I haven't seen it myself, but I've seen pictures of a new vehicle bought for the Prime Minister.
Yes, Matt, it's those excesses that make you wonder, that the Prime Minister that seems to not to be able to be fulfilled, it's not one mansion may not be enough, a third, a fourth, and now we are hearing about the vehicles. You have a fleet of vehicles that seems to be reasonable. Why do you want to go for the top of the line? And it seems to me, Matt, he always goes for the excessive, the top of the line in a very poor country. Dominica is a very extremely poor country as it is now. And you have a government with that kind of largesse, with that kind of in-your-face spending. It's wrong. It's immoral.
More telephone calls in the afternoon. Hello, talk to me, yes?
Yes, Matt.
Yes, sir.
I want to tell Dr. Thompson Fountain, don't put these ideas on the radio, because work on what they have to do the last portion of time they remain. What he has to do is, we the Dominican people that has to put him there, and he knows that. Just look for the people that have to stand up for him. Don't tell them what they have to do, because in the end of the day, they will take his ideas. Thank you.
All right. Somebody's asking, what's the big deal? I think Mr. Albino on Facebook is asking, what's the big deal with the Prime Minister getting a new car? I mean,
the big deal is not he getting a new car. The big deal is he getting the top of the line. Can't you get an average vehicle that still serves your purposes? You don't have to get the most expensive one on the lot. You don't.
Somebody's asking again, what's Thompson's housing plan with hotels and apartments being built with CBI funds? What's his plan for as far as this is concerned in terms of housing?
Matt, well, let's deal with the hotels that have been built by CBI money. Bear in mind that these are hotels that have been built with the resources of the state. So as far as I am concerned, these are state resources. These are properties of the state. And as a government, that's how we will behave, that these hotels belong to the people of this country.
All right. Hello, talk to me on the telephone. Are you there? Yes. Caller, let's go.
Hello. Good afternoon, man.
Good afternoon to you, sir.
And let me say good afternoon to the party leader, United Workers Party leader, man.
Sir.
But
Good
we are very
afternoon.
concerned about the expensive vehicle purchased by the minister, by the prime minister, because the government has an animal farm at Londonderry and an agricultural farm where they're growing plantains and other crops. And it's a wheelbarrow they gave the persons operating down there. I have been calling for them to provide a four-wheel drive vehicle to the individuals attached to the NEP working on the Londonderry estate. It's a government-run facility. So it is very concerning that the government will buy such an expensive vehicle. And I want to agree with the party leader that we are very concerned about the low wages Dominicans receive on a monthly basis. That is why they have to leave the country to go to Antigua and those places and work. So in a quest to stop the brain drain, we are forced to put things in place to raise the salaries of Dominicans. And finally, healthcare. I heard the party leader talk about healthcare. I spoke to a lady that based in New Jersey, and she told me, Steve, I can no longer come back, make plans to come back to Dominica and live, because I understand the healthcare system is just not good. So I will come on holidays, but I cannot come and live. So we have to improve the healthcare system to take advantage of the diaspora that are prepared to spend so much money in our country by returning home. Thank you very much, Matt.
All right, thank you very much. More telephone calls coming at this time for the leader of the United Workers Party. Hello, talk to me, yes?
It's me again, Matt.
All right.
Doc, you can give all the information, all the inspiration, all the knowledge and advice and ideas. I want you to give them. I want everybody to give them. They will not be implemented. Are you there with me, Doc?
Yes, I am. Mhm.
Maybe sometimes I am losing Matt. Let me try to talk to you. My brother, if Skeleton then could implement.
Blessings, you're not losing me. Sometimes you just have to stay on tangent. That's my problem with you. 252. Hello, talk to me on the telephone. Are you there?
Good afternoon, Mr. Pelton. Good afternoon,
Good afternoon
to
to
Mr.
you. Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
I am on touching day.
Yes, I.
Now, Mr. Thompson, you're saying something here, right? Dominica or Rivernica cannot be poor. Take out that language, right? Now, next thing now, Mr. Thompson. You're telling me when somebody take the little money and the time and work with the government to create their hotel, if you come in power, you're going to take the hotel from them? That's what you saying here?
I think you did not hear what I said. I said monies, hotels built with CBI money at the property of the state. That's what I said.
But Thompson, you know, most of the hotels believe CBI money. Stop that.
But you're not understanding what the man is saying. I mean, let's not be ignorant. He's saying it belongs to the state. It should be belonging to the states. It's CBI money, my brother. That's what he's saying.
Hotel is a state hotel, but if you
But it's the CBI belongs to Dominica. The passports belong to Dominica, my brother. No.
If you take your idea and your little money, right? And you go to the government and create your idea, your plan, you want to make a hotel. They give you the money, that is your hotel belongs to you. If it's the government hotel, it's the government hotel. Let's get it straight.
No, but you're not on
the government cannot give you state resources. The government cannot do that. It does not belong to the government. The government doesn't get state resources to give to its friends and to public servants to build hotels. That's not how governments operate. So it's wrong.
Let me ask you a question. Who does the passports of Dominica belong to? Who does the passports of Dominica? Who does it belong to?
Our passport, as all you always say.
So why you think the hotels built with CBI passport should belong to the person who built it?
No, my lord, get it straight, Mr. Peltier.
No, I think you're lacking the understanding because you're saying that the person it belongs to the person.
But of course, the person have the idea.
Oh, you see, you're very confused, my brother. Think about it and you'll call me back. Okay, thank you very much. 254, you're confusing yourself here. Hello, talk to me, yes?
Yeah, Matt, you know already. You know, but just quickly.
Yes, go ahead.
Matt, if all the ideas Thompson and others, Lennox, everybody has given could be implemented, don't you think Dominica would be a better place, Matt?
I would think so.
But guess what? It will not be implemented. What is happening in Dominica is by design. It is deliberate, Matt. They want the condition to be like that. So in the land of the blind, The one-eye man is king. In the land of poverty, everybody looking for who, Matt? Those that have the money. And 95% haven't got, and 5% have, Matt. Don't you think the 5% will be looking for those, the 95%, Matt?
Yep.
That is what they want. So Thompson can give all the great ideas he have there. They will not be implemented. Matt, the country is governed by criminals. Thank you.
All right. Hello, 255. Hello, that's the afternoon time. Hello, talk to me. Yes, 255. Caller. Caller.
Yes, hello.
Yes, hello.
Hello, yes. I want to ask a question to Dr. Thompson Fountain.
Okay.
Okay, so my question is, in light of what just happened in St. Vincent, with the coalition team coming together, to get the entrenched party out of power, how receptive would he be to a coalition type party being formed to contest the election, and in that case, what role would he want to play?
All right. I can answer your question hypothetically in terms of what is best. Obviously, when you're confronting a government like we have that has been well entrenched, the best approach is to have a unified opposition to go up against this government. In terms of my role, is to continue to be a part of that. I certainly believe that that's why I'm here. I'm here because I'm committed to sit in the back of this government, and whatever means it will take, whatever road that takes, and I'll be there in the process.
All right. So we see celebrations on the streets of St. Vincent in recent times. After 25 years, can you imagine what it would be like for us in Dominica, Thompson?
Oh man, I'm telling you, I'm already imagining it, Matt, because I think this government is on its last legs. The behavior of the Prime Minister suggests that he knows that full well that his government days are numbered, but just by his behavior. So yeah, I think it's just a matter of time before we have those same celebrations here in Dominica.
Somebody just asked me just a few minutes ago, man, I have a small shop selling sports uniforms. How would I be able to pay the increase that the Prime Minister is talking about?
Well, that small shop, I guess the person has a cashier, right? And I think the cashier is about $1,400 that they have to pay. So I don't know the specifics or whether that person is already paying that or not, because like I said, a number of businesses were already paying above that minimum wage.
A lot of these small stores can't pay it, though.
They can't. They can't. Yeah, and they may have some issues there, and that's why I said if you're going to have minimum wage increases, it has to be in the context of a broader tax policy that we don't have in this case, and that could be a problem for some of those businesses.
All right, Dominica, 449-3095, 449-3096, 449-3097.
Dominicans, enjoy your property, protect your property. You homeowner and businessman, protect your property, enjoy your property. Can't wait for the hurricane, can't wait till your flood again, can't wait till your roof fly out and all your business coming out. Remember, no insurance company will insure your property when a storm is approaching. Get ahead of the hurricane season and insure with a company who gives you the assurance of payment for your valid claim. Come speak with us today at the New India Assurance Company Limited, upstairs AC Shillingford and Company Limited, 24 King George Street, Roseau. Bring along an up-to-date valuation from a qualified engineer and get insured today.
It's officially white potato season in Dominica. To celebrate, Bloombox is giving you the chance to win a 196cc 4-stroke 6.5 horsepower tiller valued at over $3,000. Wow! You heard right. Simply make a purchase of $75 or more between October 13th and December 27th, 2025, and you'll be automatically entered for a chance to win this powerhouse machine to make your next planting season even easier. Winner will be announced on December 29th. Visit us at Bloombox Goodwill and Roseau. Terms and conditions apply. Let's bloom together with Bloombox.
It's Kaiso! Yes, the Calypso season is upon us. Saturday, December 13, 2025 at the Factory, Valley Road. Only $20. 8 o'clock, sitting only $30. Come here, the beginning of the season. And make sure you're there till the end. Many Calypsonians will be competing. Only 12 gladiators will make it. The grand eliminations for the 2026 Calypso season. Saturday, 13 December 2025. Remember, 8 o'clock at the Factory. Come here, the funny songs, the serious songs, political songs, everything. Bring your family, bring your friends, bring your dog, and come. Kaiso!
Somebody states here, man, Dr. Fontaine can state all his ideas. Those ideas are well thought of, with purpose and intention. However, the Labour Party can never implement them because they lack foresight and intelligence to bring those ideas to fruition. 449-309-5967. Hello, talk to me, yeah?
Yes, good afternoon, Matt. And Mr. Fontaine. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes, Mr. Fontaine. I'm hearing some allegation on another radio station. I would like you to clear that. I would really like to know whether it's true that he was involved in some kind of daft agency, and where you did extract money from that agency to put onto your account.
What agency are you talking about? I haven't heard that story, so please clarify for me, please.
I would like you, like daft.
This guy is talking about DAS. I don't think we are here for that. Let's move on.
All right, 449-309. I think you have dealt with that.
Absolutely. Many years ago, 15 years ago, as a matter of fact.
Why are they rehashing this, though? Why are they rehashing
Well, Matt, desperation. Even when a government realizes that it is on its last days, you get those kind of desperate types of allegations to pull people down.
On telephone, hello, talk to me, yes?
Yeah, Matt.
Yes.
I want to quickly address two things. This idea of people calling the radio and talking about monitoring your plans for the government and all that stuff, that's the garbage, bro. It's garbage. When you're in opposition, you have two jobs: agitation and critique. You understand? You still have to play a part to development. And in fact, the only reason why we're having a wage conversation today is because Dr. Thompson proposed that wage conversation. This government is acting on reactionary processes. And we need not worry about them feeling anything, because when you come to do something from a wrong place, it never gets done right, as we've seen it with wage reform. You see, Dr. Thompson had been allowed to do a wage reform with all the analysis, with all the appropriations. You have a legislation process, you have serious, more public involvement, you have great discussions happening around the country. The thing will be done different. So talk about worrying about people getting plans. What people getting plans is that if you're not coming from a wrong place, you will never implement the plan carefully. And that is this government. It's a reactionary government. You understand? The second thing I want to address is you've got to reason and this motel thing and CBI. Brother Thompson, it is one thing I'm telling you. If you become the Prime Minister of Dominica, me as one of your bodies, I'm telling you, one thing I'm going to be on you guys about. It's a CBI program. You have to change the ship. The government the state of Dominica has to have interest in any CBI property. Interest. And this idea of the Prime Minister choosing to make projects, we need a civic entity that listens to people's projects, discusses and see which are in line with our future development. You know this madness of they're just checking his friend, giving man 60 acres of land, 200 acres of land by them, just using our thing, and we do have national interest. We have to ensure any CBI project that the state of Dominica has a percentage stake in it. Period. God bless.
God bless you too. Hello, talk to me on the telephone. Are you there, caller? 449-3095. Let's do this and we'll come back, Dominica, right after this. Thank you.
It is our 46th Global View on Q show for 2025, and we continue to engage with our local, regional, and global Q family listeners and friends of Dominica at home and abroad. My co-host is Justice Dr. Irving Andre, and our guests are former Dominica UN Ambassador Christine Gregoire social scientist Simeon Joseph, Attorney Gabriel Christian, and former CSA General Secretary Alvin Thomas. We will engage in a no-holds-barred review of lessons to be learned from the recent St. Vincent and the Grenadines general election and ask, where do we in Dominica go from here? Amid missed opportunities for Dominicans in agriculture, agribusiness, manufacturing, tourism, foreign relations, modern healthcare, state-of-the-art education, and other fields in preparation for the era of knowledge industry. And here are some issues and questions. Have the intention voters struck a blow to leadership of entitlement? Have they rejected dynastic democracy in their country? Have they demonstrated that power lies in the people rather than in their leaders? Has St. Vincent and the Grenadines set the tone for conducting truly free and fair elections? Has St. Vincent become a beacon for its island neighbors like Dominica? Have the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines demonstrated that after a regime has been in office for 25 years, it is time to make a change, no matter what? And are we bearing witness to the rise and fall of tin pot dictatorships in the Eastern Caribbean, where plans for personal enrichment are paramount? As I always say, thinking forward towards 2028 or to Dominica's 50th anniversary of independence, what are the people's expectations for their own well-being? Are they satisfied with their current conditions and lack of economic and social progress? What are they doing about that? We look forward to the suggestions of our panel, Justice Dr. Irving Andre, former Dominica Union Ambassador Christian Gregoire, social scientist Simeon Joseph, Attorney Gabriel Christian, former CSA General Secretary Alvin Thomas, and our listeners, callers, and viewers on Facebook and on YouTube on our no-holds-barred review of lessons to be learned from the recent St. Vincent and the Grenadines general election and ask, where do we in Dominica go from here? Amid missed opportunities for Dominicans in agriculture, agribusiness, manufacturing, tourism, foreign relations, modern healthcare, state-of-the-art education, and other fields in preparation for this era of knowledge industry. So tune in to the Global Young Cube Tuesday night, 8 p.m. for much more.
So much bloodshed and sorrows.
All right, Dominica, it's 3:07, and of course, we're coming back to the.
Thompson.
Good afternoon to you. I'm back.
In yande moun ki ka ki radio a. Yande boug yo ka pay $200-300 pour parler inutile. Even le boug ça sou di yon bagay bouchou kan ni plein. Les pas toutes les points de côté au fou là on ni pour fouiller lang yo. Because yon pas ti bagay boucher yo pas connaître yo kan di. So on ni pour di kite yo di. Because lang yo because ça vous sorti lang aussi changer union premier ministre là qui a regardé pour quoi il avait famille changer jadi yo. Ini security avec une health bite pour vous ça faire aller l'autre pays insurance nous même pas ni rien là on nous mettait avec dit ça au clap changer on va bouger l'école pour apprendre encore ça parce qu'on va apprendre assez so moi le jouer ça pas moi après-midi.
All right, I'm back. On the telephone, I'll talk to me, yes? Uh-huh.
Yes, my good afternoon to you and good afternoon to Dr. Funky.
Yes, sir.
But I have two concerns. One, the caller before made a point about interest that the government of Dominica should have interest in the CBI program, especially the real estate. I'm in 100% agreement with this matter. It to me doesn't make any sense. You let the person use your passport to get money, and at the end of the day, they have a hotel and you have no interest in it. But that doesn't make economic sense at all. So yes, the government should have interest in all the hotels. I support that view. The other thing is the minimum wage. I agree that we need an increase, but I am concerned about the farmers who are not able to sell their produce. If you're not selling your produce, how are you going to be able to pay an increase? I'm not saying that the increase is not due, or it's not necessary, but I'm concerned about the farmer who cannot sell his crop so that he can make money to pay the increase. Okay?
All right, caller, thank you very much. Now, somebody says, Matt, I totally agree. I'm in total agreement with Dr. Fontaine. Any business or individuals who use CBI funds owe the state and the people. The people and the state pay and take the risk, then they own the profits and investment. Additionally, any civil servant who use CBI funds for personal wealth today should forego getting a pension and social security benefits. Tell Thompson I will gladly help him with some creative ideas to recover state investments. That's somebody from the diaspora.
Yes, Matt, that's great, and in fact, that's the reason why we have taken this government to court. Because if, as we are asking the court to do, to force them to put all of the state resources into the consolidated fund, if that had happened, we would not be in that situation. If these monies were channeled into the console and were being handled by the Treasury, we would not be in a situation where the Prime Minister thinks that this is his money to give to whomsoever he pleases. It does not belong to him. It's not yours to give, Mr. Prime Minister. These are state resources, and they should be dealt with in that context.
On that note, what's the latest in that case, Thompson?
We are back in court on the 26th of January. We are hopeful that the court will see it our way. And well, we are thinking it's a straightforward case in the sense that that's the requirement of the Constitution. And we're just asking the court to enforce that. And we're hoping that they will do so.
Matt,
yeah.
Good afternoon, and good afternoon to all Dominicans. I'm starting to line my closet with yellow dresses. Now, concerning that call to degrade Dr. Fountain, Skerrit is a man that has bring Dominicans down with Dominica passport money. So tell them, ask their Prime Minister question, not Dr. Fountain, a man of integrity, a man that's going to revive Dominica economy. Or you will always stay like that and die, and because all you do have hospital, all you do have medication, all you do have nothing, and Skerrit going overseas with his family. All you need to think, take out that rotten thing in all your head.
Dr. Fontaine, of course, I heard you commenting on the Vincentians or the St. Vincent elections there. What's your take on what may happen in St. Lucia tonight? I heard it's very close.
Yes, Matt, it is very close. I think one of the major issues and that I think will decide the elections is over the CPI program in St. Lucia. And they were supposed to have done an audit and present to Parliament next year. And one of the reasons why the government called election basically a whole year early is because of that. So they have not done the audit, and the opposition is claiming that they're using a lot of those same resources from the CPI program to campaign. So that I think is going to play a big part in the election in terms of people deciding where they want to go. That's a big issue.
I spoke, actually, I say, he texted me last evening that talking about the leader of the opposition there in St. Lucia. I said, what's the mood on the ground? He says, well, it's great. So I don't know what to read by that. Of course, I'm talking to the leader of the opposition, and I'm sure he'll express that. But I called somebody else in St. Lucia, and they seem to think a lot of people there on the ground. A lot of people have turned out to vote, so maybe something's up in the air there.
Yes, Matt, it's very interesting, and this St. Lucian voters, they're very interesting. They have a kind of independent streak with them. Bear in mind, 5 years ago, they voted out, 4 years ago, they voted out Alan Chastanet after only one term in office. And so, you wonder what they will do this time, because Jean-Pierre has only been in office for one term, and it's not even a full term. He called the elections early. So
there's been a lot of controversy around his prime ministership as well.
Yes, there's been, and the issues, of course, I talked about the CPI, then there was the issue of crime. That's one of the major issue there in St. Lucia. So, I think whatever happens is going to be close. It's going to be close. It can go in my view, it can go in any direction. I'm hoping that the yellow wave continues. The dominoes continue to fall across the Caribbean.
All right. So somebody's saying there, as somebody's indicating to me, somebody from Vegas is saying, Matt, I'm waiting for the opposition to put my house or their house in order to to vote out the DLP. How is Mr. Malcolm Stephen going to sell ham and turkey this year or this month to increase employee wages? 449-3095-9697. You think that maybe they'll still give their hams and turkeys this year, Thompson?
Well, Matt, yeah, that seems to be what the people have an expectation that they will get their ham and turkey from the government because they have not been given jobs this year to buy their ham and turkey. So they're in the exact same place that they were last year and the year before. So there's an expectation on their part that they will receive this ham. But that's not the way to run a country. You know, what you want to do, create opportunities, create the jobs, let the people be able to buy what kind of ham and what kind of turkey that they want at the end of the year. That's not government's function to be giving people ham and turkey. Give them jobs. That's what you should be doing.
If an election says it could be called tomorrow, I always ask you that question because of the timeliness of what people may expect or will expect with what the wave is going on in the Caribbean. You know, is the United Workers Party ready for that?
Matt, we will contest, as we've said before, we will contest an election. We've made it public. And in that regard, we are doing everything within our powers to get ready for it whenever it is called. That includes identifying potential candidates. That includes doing the work on the ground, which we have been very much engaged in. I hear people saying, oh, the opposition is quiet. Man, that is far from it. Like I say, you never see the activities of the Cool Bois. You never see the activities of the wood ends until the house begins to crumble. And so let me just assure the Dominican public that we are doing everything within our powers. We are not supermen and women, but we are working very hard to convince. At the end of the day, man.
So you might have the Cool Boy effect there.
The Cool Boy effect. At the end of the day, it is the people that are going to make the X for you. These are the people that we are speaking in the ears and we are talking to them. We are with them on the ground. We are doing whatever it is that we're able to do. And at the same time, preparing, which involves, of course, looking for resources, for financing, everything that goes around a political party organizing. We are doing it.
I've seen a message going around as to relate to, you know, people always ask whether the opposition, the leaders are ready, in the opposition are ready. But the question is, are you ready as a people?
The people, exactly. At the end of the day, Matt, it's not the opposition. It's not. We're not going to vote for ourselves. It's the people, you know. And that's what happened in St. Vincent. The people were prepared to make that change, and they did.
And they were fed up.
And they were fed up. And our people here are fed up, and they should be prepared to make that change. Absolutely.
Did you listen to Gonzalez?
Yes, I did. I thought he could have been a bit. He should have at least congratulated his opposition. He did not do that. You know, he was more concerned about himself and his future support that goes to him. You know, it was not a very graceful speech. I thought it could have been compared to his son. I listened to his son, the finance minister. He gave a very conciliatory speech. He congratulated the opposition. He admitted, you know, their own shortcomings, which I thought was really good, you know. But compared to his performance and his father's, I think Ralph fell short this time.
I know every year you guys have a delegates conference. Will that be taking place?
Yes, Matt. Actually, it's due on the 14th. We will be having our delegates conference on the 14th of December of this year.
Mm-hmm. Will you be contesting for the leadership again?
Yes, Matt, absolutely. I'm here, and we have, as you know, we have a very, very democratic process within the party. So anybody can just come off the street, wash the feet, and challenge me for the leader. That's what we have.
Is it necessary to hold this delegates conference every year? Don't you think that they should give whatever leader is elected a chance to breathe?
Matt, well, that would be my preference, obviously, and we have some work to do, I believe, with regards to our constitution in that regard, because really, you should really be electing a leader to prepare the party for the next election. It should not be to prepare for your own internal election every year. I absolutely agree with that. But that's the constitution that we now have, and it's something that we absolutely have to look into. Are you really helping the party to have persons just come off the street every year and challenge for the leadership of the party? Is that really good for the party? Is that strengthening the party? Is that making us stronger in the eyes of the public? I don't know. These are things that we have to take a very serious look at.
So that's 13 days away.
13 days away, Matt, and I very well could be contesting my 4th election as party leader.
Mm-hmm. Anybody else have names have been mentioned?
Well, there are the names being bandied about, and I'm sure, as I said, people can just come off the street and without even announcing their intent, they can just come on that day and be nominated. So we'll see.
Are you confident that you might emerge, or you will emerge again?
Matt, you know, I'm of the view that if I cannot win within the party, then I cannot win nationally. All right. So I believe that the people within there is very strong support for my candidacy, for me as the leader of the party. I believe that what people want is a leader that is committed to winning the next election, and everything that we're doing now is pointing in that direction. So I believe I'll continue to have the support of the people.
Somebody's asking me earlier there through a text message, what is your relationship with the then leader of the party, Mr. Linton?
It's excellent. Me and Mr. Linton has a great relationship. You know, we talk to each other. We talk about party matters. We discuss party issues. You know, it's great, and I am very thankful for his support.
All right, let's see if we can take a final phone call and we'll wrap it up for the. I'll be seeing you a little more, Thompson.
Yes, Matt. Absolutely.
Hello,
Absolutely.
talk to me. Yes. Yeah.
Not a question for Doc.
Yes.
Doc, if you would lose, would you cross the floor? Would you go to another political party? Because that's almost 5 years. That would be 4 consecutive victories. That is one. The same idea in a different context leads to unequal results, or the same idea in I have a shorter way saying it. Not all what that may have happened elsewhere, where people are automatically triggered or mobilized. There is something that have numbed Dominicans. And Doc, I do not think it is wise to have 10,000. And I'm not saying we have 10,000 followers. UWP have 10,000 followers. How much about 70,000 voters for a couple elections, Doc?
Well, that's what's been banded around. I don't think we have 70,000 voters now.
No, we don't. We have closer to
17.
Oh yes, roughly. Yes. It's roughly in that range. Yes.
Okay, Doc. I am saying for Dominica specifically. I don't know if it's the brains that have divorced the skull. So it seems like we have a lot of zombies walking around, and I'm not saying the people are. I'm just generalizing here. Doc, you cannot have 17,000 people following you as a leader, and it's not you specifically. And if they fail to follow, they are to be blamed. There is more than one way to skin a cat. Be as innovative and creative as you are as a leader, to inspire, to mobilize, to motivate. But you cannot have 17,000 followers and they lack the vigor to stand and follow you to hell as a leader. And that's what a leader has to do. You see, like the fanatical people, look, a guy calling you and telling you about dark and all kind of things, they will go to hell. Even if they know it's hell they're following, scared to go, they will voluntarily and willingly follow. My brethren, do something out of the ordinary. Go to any big people in America and get some money. I don't know where to get the money, but all you have to mobilize and inspire and organize and everything. We can't take that, Doc. Thank you.
Can't take another 5 years.
Yes, Matt, I think that's the sentiment across this country. And that's why I'm confident that the people of Dominica will stand with us in opposition to remove this government. 25 years is too much, and the country is going nowhere. And thankfully, the eyes of the people have been opened. And, you know, I was doing some work in my constituency yesterday, visiting some folks, you know, going some house to house. And I must say, I'm very, very much encouraged. Persons that I never thought would be talking the way that they are talking, and not only in my village of Grand Fort, but also other places that we've been. I was in
but they're pulling you aside. They're not talking publicly.
No, when I go to their homes, in their homes and have a conversation with them. And a similar thing happened. I was with Ronald in Mount Prosper on Friday, and a similar thing. Persons that will really supporting the Labour Party are saying, they think it's time for a change. So that is very encouraging. It's something that we have to keep building on. And Blessings is right. The whole question of resources, we are working very, very hard on getting those resources. Obviously, there are challenges with that, but it's something that we absolutely have to find, you know, in terms of helping us in our campaign. But let me assure Dominicans, we're doing everything within our power. Obviously, we can always do more, and that's what we're doing.
Dr. Fontaine, let's talk again, sir.
Yes, Matt. Thanks for the opportunity. Appreciate it.
Bye-bye now.